Hello, my name is Jamie and I want to welcome you back to my channel where we review, demo, and discuss makeup and give commentary on the beauty community as a whole. So today I am going to be doing a Halloween inspired look. Since the holiday is coming up, I was like, I just want to do something fun and just chat with you guys about what's been going on with me and just have like a really chill, relaxed time. To get started, I'm gonna hop right in. I'm going to put primer on my face. I already did my eyebrows and I put primer on my eyes. I used the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer for my eyes. And for my eyebrows, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. And for the primer, I'm using the Cover FX Blurring Primer. This is one of my favorites. So how have you guys been doing recently? I've been doing okay. It's been a little bit of a struggle. I suffer from generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. And I've been doing really, really well with my symptoms for the past several months, like throughout my illnesses and everything that I've had. My mental health has been pretty solid. But after I started getting better, for whatever reason, I started becoming so incredibly anxious. It's been driving me nuts. Okay, I'm gonna be going in next with the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation by Colourpop. I'm gonna start off by going around my eyebrows because I don't want to mess them up. But at any rate, I don't know if any of you guys have any like mental illnesses yourself. I really debated whether or not I ever wanted to talk about it on this channel because there's still so much stigma associated with mental illness. People look at it like it's some type of failing, like you're weak for whatever reason, not keeping in mind that people deal with it because, I mean, there's a variety of reasons, but for a lot of us, it's just a chemical imbalance in the brain, just like diabetics, you know, have difficulty processing sugars and carbohydrates. You know, sometimes our brains have difficulty processing different chemicals. There's a lack of a chemical, there's too much of it, and that creates problems for us and our mental well-being. So for me personally, I manage my mental illness through therapy and medications to help balance me out. And what's crazy is even in the realm of, you know, people who are being treated for mental illness, there's stigma even within that community. For example, I was in one like support group, and there was in the support group like this major stigma against medication, as if it was like the big bad wolf or something like that. And it was really sad because there'd be people posting about how horribly they were struggling, you know, through self-harm, suicidal ideations, lots of like really, really significant stuff. And they refused to try medication to treat themselves. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. And when they would go to a psychiatrist, they would be upset that the doctor was pushing medication on them. But if you're not aware, psychiatrists are medical doctors. They are not therapists, they're not psychologists. I mean, they have a background in psychology, but psychiatrists deal with medications. So, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. So when they went to this medical doctor and complained about how depressed or how anxious they were, or how it was destroying their relationships and destroying their mental well-being, they were really surprised when the doctor is like, okay, here's this medication that I think would help. And they would turn their nose up at it and say, why is this doctor doing that? And it's like, you know, therapy is great. It's very important. It's very helpful. I think everybody could benefit from seeing a therapist at one point in their life or another. However, if you have a chemical imbalance, it's going to be very difficult for therapy alone to treat that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be way more difficult. And if you just had that added benefit to get you over the hump, and like, just because you start off on medication doesn't mean you're going to be stuck using it forever. I just found that to be pretty sad. But the stigma needs to end. And that's one of the reasons why I'm bringing it up on this channel, is because I know there's at least one of you out there who's struggling with, you know, something. And I want you to know that it's normal. Like, there's so many of us who struggle with different things, and it doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you have some type of moral failing. It just happens, you know? And it's okay to seek help. It's okay to do what you got to do to get better. And you have to let go of being judged by other people, because they're not the ones inside your head. They're not the ones who are living with it. You are the one living with it. And you got to do what you need to do to keep yourself okay. But for me recently, I don't know why exactly I've been struggling so much, but it sucks. Like, the anxiety has been so real. And I get asked, like, oh, well, what's making you anxious? And it's like, it doesn't have to be, like with anxiety disorder, it doesn't have to be any one thing in particular that is causing it. It's just like this feeling in your chest, like, of impending doom. Like, your body is ready for fight or flight, and there's no logical reason why your body is geared up like that. Oh, for the powder, I use the Laura Mercier honey colored translucent setting powder. I kind of feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but you know, I think it's a topic that is important. And if there's one person out there who hears this and decides, you know what, I want to go to therapy, or, you know, going to see a psychiatrist, then I think that that's a good thing. This is the Hydrating Complexion Trio by Alamar Cosmetics that I'm using. So it's a bronzer and brightening palette. There's a lot of things I've had to do over the past year to keep myself well. Like, one of them has been giving up Facebook for the most part. Like, I didn't delete my account or anything like that, but I don't go on it anymore because it's stressful. You know, I got rid of everybody in my Facebook life that was, you know, posting crazy stuff, being overly negative, being dismissive of certain things that I firmly believe in. However, the friends that are, you know, my normal friends would post things that are like news, like, you know, like just what's going on in the world and what's going on with like all of the injustices that are plaguing our country. And that alone was stressing me out. Like, I had to cut out checking up on the news on a regular basis. I feel like in a lot of ways, 2020 broke my brain when it comes to all the negativity. I was somebody who felt very passionately, I still do, but feel very passionately about the Black Lives Matter movement. Oh, you know what, guys? I forgot to get my color switcher. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. If you guys don't have one of these, by the way, definitely pick it up. They're like $5. You could get them from Amazon, or you could get it from like Marshall's or TJ Maxx. But they clean your brushes off in between your color application, and they're so good. All right, I'm using the Nostalgia palette by Ace Beauté, and I'm going in with the shade Carnival. At any rate, I feel very strongly about the importance of the Black Lives Matter movement, but dealing with people who aren't, and not only and I'm not saying that you have to be like an activist or whatever, but I was dealing with some people who will actively speak out against the movement and be very dismissive of what, you know, Black people go through. And like, it stressed me out so much. Like, it drove me crazy. Like, dealing with all the uproar from 2020, I really think, in a lot of ways, broke me. Those basic opposing moral stances, I suppose you could call it, really harmed a lot of relationships that I've had. I had to let a lot of relationships go because of it. And it's sad, like, when you find out how people really feel about certain things. And it's like, it's very disappointing. Like, I found myself very disappointed in a lot of things. And just the social climate in general. And I had a lot of people that I know and care about who are just hurting, like both Black and brown people, and, or, you know, a lot of people who are just hurting because of how negative everything has gotten. I'm going in with the shade Flip Flops. I would be listening to these stories that they have, like, of going through similar things and coming to similar conclusions about people in their life as me. And we were all just hurting together, which generally it's a good thing when you come across somebody that can relate with you. But the problem was, I don't know if empaths are real. I don't know if that's like a real thing or if that's like BS. But if empaths are real, I really do think that I am one. And I felt like I was just absorbing all of this energy, all of this hurt, and all of this pain. And it was too much for me. And I had to, for my own sake, I had to let a lot of that go. And it sucks because you want to be there for these people who are going through similar things as you. But you have to be honest with yourself about whether or not you can handle it. And I came to the conclusion that I couldn't handle all of that energy, all of that pain that people were suffering with. I think that that's something that I would encourage you guys to look at as well. I'm going back in with Carnival, the purple color. You really have to protect your energy and really take a look at how much energy from other people you're absorbing. And if you have to step away from it, then do it. And if, you know, these people that you're dealing with really love and care about you, they'll understand. My hope is that one day I'll be able to go back, because I built a lot of friendships on it. Like, for example, I'm in a sorority, and I met so many amazing women on Facebook that I've actually never met in person. but we've developed friendships on, like, just from meeting on Facebook, and I'm missing out on those relationships because I had to step away from social media. And I think that's why it took me so long to give up social media, is because I genuinely love and care about these people. You know, I want to see the updates about their kids. I want to know all of the things on their life, and I love the support that they gave me. Especially, like, for example, in last year, my father died, and the outpouring of love and support that I got from people on social media was, like, so amazing, and I felt so blessed to have had that. So for me to step away from Facebook, it took a lot. It took a lot for me to do that. And a lot of people say that, like, you know, social media is toxic or whatever. I mean, it can be. It absolutely can be. But it's not always in the ways you think. Like, it's not always people being racist and people being like terrible. Sometimes it could just be a lot of people who are hurting all together, and you absorbing that and not being able to deal with it in a healthy way. And that was me. I know that there's some people who watch my videos who I know personally. If you wonder why, you know, you don't see me that much, that's why. And I think it was kind of like a weight lifted from me after I no longer went on Facebook like every day. And so I think that's why for the past year, I hadn't been dealing with as much anxiety and sadness. So why it's come back now all of a sudden, I really don't know. Speaking of mental health and beauty news, on Instagram, the owner of Midas Cosmetics announced that she was recently diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and she's going to be stepping away from her business for a while, I believe, to get healthy. She's talked about how the past year has been incredibly difficult, and how, you know, she's like, it's been a struggle. And I don't know if she was saying that it's been a struggle, like, financially, like, with on like the business end of things, or if it's been a struggle like with mental health, or like a combination of both. But basically what she's doing is putting the rest of the inventory like on sale, taking a step away, and she said she's not restocking again until at least mid 2022. So I was like, all right, let me go and get some products. Like, there is a face palette by Neon MUA that she collaborated with. I was like, all right, let me get that. But unfortunately, it was sold out. The color, it came with 4 different colors. The color story that I wanted was already sold out. But if there's anything, like, if you've ever been curious about Midas Cosmetics and you see something that you like, get it now, because once it's gone, it's probably gone. And she said that, like, her company is like a one-woman show, which I admire. Like, I don't know how people do it, like, run an entire cosmetics company like completely on your own, because it's a lot. Like, I was just listening to the Full Coverage podcast by Manny MUA and Laura Lee, and a large part of their last video was about what it takes to start your own cosmetics company and what it takes to run it and how expensive it is. Oh my God, it was a lot. It takes a lot of financial capital to get started. I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get started for a lot of it. So for a person to do it like, you know, just on their own, I really admire that. And I wish the owner all the best. I hope that the company returns. I think my biggest fear is that the business like won't return after this break. And if it doesn't, and if, I mean, she has to give up the business to keep herself okay, then that's all right. Really, it's just selfishness on my part that I want it to come back, because I do like it. I got the Smoky Glow palette, which I think I've featured on this channel before, and it was beautiful. Gosh, I'm not even telling you guys the shades that I'm using. So I've used the shade Flower in my crease, and I've used the shade Beach on to highlight my brow bone. Okay, so that's the top. And for the bottom, I'm gonna be doing a green color look. So going with like witchy colors, like purple and green. I'm gonna start off with the flat brush. And I'm going in with the shade Theme Park right here. I'm just going all the way under my eyes with this. And then I'm gonna smoke it out. I wish this green was brighter. Hold on, let me go grab, you know, let me do the other side, and then I'm gonna get a brighter green. Okay, so I got the Carnival Palette by Be Perfect Cosmetics, and I think I'm gonna go in with a combination of the Hype and Ecstasy. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to go in next with this Pat McGrath. This is the Pat McGrath Eye Ecstasy Subversive palette. And there's this purple shade right here. And I'm gonna put that in the center of my lid just to give it a little bit of shine. I'm gonna use my finger. Just in the center there, you see that? All right, that's gonna be my eyes for now. I'm gonna do eyeliner and lashes off camera. Next, I'm gonna do the cheeks, and I'm gonna use the Moon Prism Blush Palette by Lunar Beauty. I'm gonna use the shade Twilight right here, this peachy shade. I love these blushes. They work so well. Speaking of Lunar Beauty, something that Manny MUA was talking about in his podcast was that he had to change the companies who formulated his eyeshadows. So I'm very, very curious to see if the quality is the same. I hope it is, but I really don't know. Okay, now that I have my blush on, I'm gonna put on highlighter. And I'm using the Nicole Guerrero palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm gonna use the shade Daydream. How does that look, guys? I just want you to be your best self. And that means taking care of your mental health. If that means going to therapy, sometimes it means medication. Sometimes it means cutting toxic people out of your life. Sometimes it means stepping away from people who aren't toxic but can be emotionally draining. It means stepping away from situations that can be emotionally draining. Monitoring how much news you absorb every day. I'm going to take some of this highlighter shade and put it in the inner corner of my eye. All right, now let's move on to the lips. I am taking the lip pencil by Gerard Cosmetics in the shade Underground. Oh gosh, I'm so torn because I have the Ciate London glitter flip lip color, or just like a gloss. You know, to heck with it. Let's go with the glitter flip. All right, I can't talk and do this at the same time, so I'll just speed through this. A little bit drier of a formula and a little bit bluer than I want it to be, so I'm gonna get a purple color. Okay, so this is the Soft Matte Lip Cream by NYX. I think that Asiate one, that one is just about kaput. Barely has any product in it. All right, I'm gonna pop on my lashes and I'll be right back to close out this video. Okay guys, I am back and this is the final look. Just like a fun kind of Halloween-y inspired look. I hope that you like it. I do, I think it's fine. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. It was nice just to be able to chat and get some things off my chest. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the video and hit the bell notification so you can be aware of every single time I upload. Also, check out my Instagram account. It's at Pebble, and you'll get to see some photos of looks that I do. Some of them I do on the channel and some of them I do off of the channel. So I guess I just want to thank you all one more time. I really, really love and appreciate every single like, every single comment. I really, really do. It keeps me going, keeps me motivated, and makes me want to create more content for you guys. So with that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye.